As soon as it starts, there we go. All right. So we've done one-step equations, guys. We've done one-step equations, two-step equations, now multi-step equations. Now, a couple of these problems are only 2 steps, all right? But there might be some that are 3 steps. I don't know if you have any 4-step. You might have a 4-step equation in here. All right, we'll see. So I'm not gonna make these up. I'm just gonna take them right from the worksheet. That'd be nice, right? Let's just start with number 1. Yeah, let's do this one. So negative 20. So write this down. You're going to see it on the worksheet, but write it down now so that you'll know what to do once you get the worksheet. All right. This is a little different than what you've seen so far, okay? But it's very similar as well. Look at this right here. You should recognize that. That's combining like terms, exactly right. So if you ever see any like terms, so if you see 2 x's, right, and if they're on the same side of the equal sign, all right, if they're on the same side of the equal sign, if you see 2 x's, right, I got a negative 4x and a negative 6x, so that's 2 set of x's that I have, you've got to combine the like terms first. So make sure you do that before you start subtracting stuff, dividing stuff, multiplying stuff, all that. Make sure that you add the like terms first, okay? We've had a whole lesson, a whole entire worksheet on combining like terms. So let's do that now. So I'm not going to do anything to the left just yet. Let's add these like terms. Negative 4 minus 6. We've done 3 of those when we went over the homeworks. We did 3 that look like this. Can you do that in your head now? Negative 4 minus 6. You should. What is that? It's negative 10. Or in this case, it's what? Negative 10x. Okay? So really, there's nothing new to this problem. And this is a 2-step problem. This is not even, more than 2. So one more step. Negative 10 is being multiplied by x. You got to get rid of the negative 10. So we divide by what? Not 10, by negative 10. Make sure you divide by the negative. You got to get rid of that negative as well. Okay, so we divide this by negative 10 as well. And this negative 10 cancels out. We're left with the x over here on the right. Negative 20 divided by negative 10. Negative over negative is positive. 20 over 10 is 2. You could circle that. That's fine. I just like to write it like this. I just think it looks nicer. So I put x equals 2. All right, let's do number 6. It's p minus 1 equals 5p plus 3p minus 8. All right, here we go. The first step is the same step as what we just did on that last problem. But then after that, something a little different is going to happen here. So there's nothing really I can do to simplify that. But I do notice some like terms again, don't you? So look for those. You don't always have them, but sometimes you do. All right? So if you have a like term, all right? Taj, you got to put that away. Okay, there's no eating in here. I'll let you drink the water, but there's no eating. So put it away, put it in your book bag. Don't take another bite. There's no eating in my classroom. 5p plus 3p is 8p, and then minus 8. Now, here's where it's a little different. You guys can't just hold it and wait. You only got like 7 more minutes. It's that important. Right in the middle of my lesson. I'm going to boycott letting people go to the bathroom. I'm tired of it. All right, here we go. Look what we have here. I got a variable on the left side and the right side. There's a p over here on the left and a p over here on the right. Speaking of going to bathrooms, right? So we got over here on the left and over here on the right. We don't want them on both sides. Where do we want them? On one side. Does it matter what side we put it on? Nope, doesn't make any difference. But I do have a preference though. All right. I like to take the smaller variable and put it on the side with the bigger variable. Okay? So that means I'm going to take this p and put it over to the right-hand side. Do you have to? No. You could take that 8p and move it over to the left-hand side. But the problem is, if we do that, we're going to be left with a negative. Do you really want to deal with a negative if you don't have to? Not me. I'd rather deal with positive numbers, wouldn't you? Okay? So in this situation, what I'm going to do how do I get rid of this letter P? It's a number. Remember, it stands for a number, right? It's a positive P. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do the opposite. What's the opposite of plus P? Minus. That's right. So I'm going to subtract the variable. Door, please. And then over here, I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to subtract P over here. Let's see what happens. What happens to these P's? They cancel. Bring down what? -1. What's this? 8P minus P. Is it negative? It's positive 8 minus 1. What's just regular 8 minus 1? It's just positive 7, right? So it's a positive 7, not negative, right? So it's negative, or it's positive 7 what? P. And then bring down the next thing. What do we get? -8. So that's a little different than what we've done so far. This is the first time where we had a variable on both sides of the equation, or the equal sign, right? Every time we've had it so far, it's always been on just one side. But this is where it's on both sides. So we got to put it on either the left side or the right side. It really doesn't matter. Okay, again, my preference is to take the smaller one, move it to the side with the bigger one. That way we're left with a positive variable. Okay, that's just my preference. Okay, I could have done it the other way, but that's what I decided to do. All right, let's keep going. Now, this should look very familiar. This is one of your regular two-step equations. We just went over that worksheet. I'm going to do it kind of quick because time's running out. So I'm going to plus 8 right here, plus 8 right here. This is going to cancel, and it is. It's positive 7. So -1 plus 8 is positive 7 equals what? 7P. Now I got to get the P by itself, so I divide by 7, divide by 7. There's so many bathroom jokes I could tell when P is the variable here, but I'm refraining. All right, so I know you're probably thinking it too. All right, this cancel out the 7. So what's P equal to? It's equal to 1, and there you go. And it's positive 1, correct, because -1 plus 8 is positive 7. All right, let's do another one. Did you write that down? All right, so I'm moving this up. Let's pick another one. I'm going to pick some real long one. How about that? And then I can pick another one. It's not so long, but it's a shorter one. So I'm going to do number 17 for you. Make sure you do these yourself. Don't just copy from your notes when you get to these problems on the worksheet. Try it yourself to make sure that you know what you're doing. All right. Time's running a little short, so I'm going to go kind of quick on this one, all right? So you got a negative out in front of this parentheses. So what I'm going to do is I got to distribute it. It's kind of like a negative what? 1. Right, there's like a -1 out there. All right, so I'm going to distribute it. -1 times 1 is -1. -1 times positive 7 is -7x, because that's got an x with it. Make sure you distribute it through both of them. A lot of people forget to distribute it through the second one. All right, I had somebody in, it was like Algebra 2 or pre-calc. I think it was pre-calc quiz. A lot of kids forgot to distribute. It was just a part of the problem. It was a little harder problem, but part of the problem was to distribute in pre-calculus, right? And they forgot to distribute the negative through the second one, all right? So make sure you do that. What about this one? We're going to take a -6 and we're going to distribute it through this. -6 times -7 plus what? 42. 6 times 7 is 42. Negative times negative is positive. That's why I put plus. Now we have -6 times -x. Again, negative times negative is positive, so I put a plus. 6 times x is 6x equals 36. Make sure you get those signs right. That's absolutely important. You miss a sign, you miss the whole problem. Now we can do something we've already done. Add like terms, right? Let's take the -1. Do I have any just regular numbers here on the left-hand side? Yeah, the 42. What's -1 plus 42? That's 41. Let's do the x's. I got a -7x plus 6x. That's -1x, or just -x. If you want to put the 1 out in front of it, it's fine. So I added like terms. Right? Really nothing that we've done so far is new. We've done distributive property, we've done combining like terms, and we've done this two-step equation thing. All right? Let's get rid of the 41. How do I get rid of the 41? minus 41, minus 41. All right, that cancels. I'll tell you what, remember I said you could put a negative 1 there? I'm going to do that in this situation. I got a reason for that. 36 minus 41, that's negative, what, 5? Now, is that my answer? Is x equal negative 5? No, negative x is, so I got to get rid of that negative, or that negative 1. How do I get rid of that negative 1? No? What's that? It's multiplying by the x, isn't it? So how do I get rid of something that's being multiplied? I divide by a negative 1. Watch. Cancels. X equals positive 5. And that's the answer. Look at all those steps. Is there any way you're doing that stuff in your head? No way. All right? So it's very important that you know how to show your steps. That's why I try to force you. I try to force you, even on the real easy ones where you can do in your head. Okay, I try to force you to show your steps. Don't leave until I give you a worksheet, and then you can get that done for